So if you've played NBA 2K24 for over a month now, you know that the Hall of Fame AI is disrespectful and juiced on offense this year. But more importantly, on defense, they are incredibly effective to the point that people don't even guard you on ball in NBA 2K24. In this video, I'm going to show you everything I learned about beating the Hall of Fame AI efficiently, and we're talking about game modes such as Play Now, online in my team, and even in my career Hall of Fame game modes. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to be effective in beating the Hall of Fame AI and making sure that you get buckets consistently, whether it's online and people are not guarding you, and making sure these skills translate into an online setting even if people are guarding you. So while the focus of this video will be beating the computer in one-on-one setting, if you're relatively new to NBA 2K and you're not confident in your stick skills, calling plays is one of the best ways to create space for yourself and score efficiently against the AI. In this case, I'm calling a few of my favorite plays in NBA 2K24 to get me free in an off-ball setting. As you can see here, if I want just a fast way to beat the defense and get space off-ball, calling plays where your teammates set screens for you or complicated actions can get you open for an easy bucket. So a new addition to NBA 2K24 are the addition of new two-man actions in your favorite play call menu, such as the screen fist option. I'll be discussing a lot of these offensive actions in a separate video, but what these plays do, what these quick plays do, is give you a lot of basic offensive actions, a lot of handoff plays, screen plays, flare screen, quick plays between 2 or 3 individuals from your team. That's gonna give you easy opportunities to score. And if you're also relatively new to NBA 2K, asking for a screen or a pick is the easiest way to gain space. So we want to hold L1 or the left bumper if you're on Xbox to ask for a screen. The first option is the pick and roll, where the screener will roll or dive towards the basket. So here, an easy screen from Kevin Love gives us the space we need to launch into a pull-up jumper. Tapping R1 once again after asking for that initial screen will ask your screen setter to instead fade towards the perimeter to hit them with a pick and fade. These are options that are going to be important to get you open. This is the most common offense you will see in an online setting because it's an easy way to get open. So there's one system in NBA 2K24 that you have to understand before we learn how to break our defenses down. Anytime you're unable to blow by past your defender, or if your defender is able to stop you from getting towards the basket, you will lose one of these 3 adrenaline meters, which are those 3 bars just below your player indicator. See here, Russell Westbrook stopping Steph Curry made me lose 1 adrenaline bar. The consequence of losing 1 adrenaline bar, or at worst all 3 of your adrenaline bars, is it becomes even more difficult to shoot. Take a look at the situation right here where Steph loses all adrenaline bars. That green window is basically non-existent. You also are a more inefficient shooter with a lower green window if your stamina is completely depleted. So making sure you're efficient with how you blow by your defenders and manage your stamina is gonna be key because it will give you a much larger green window, making it easier for you to shoot, as you can see right here. So now let's focus on how to beat the Hall of Fame AI. This won't be a tutorial on how to execute specific moves, but I'll link to you the different tutorials which you can use to learn the game. So what this video focuses on instead is how to efficiently beat the AI in situations for you to score much more easily. And my first tip, when especially against the Hall of Fame AI, is to punish every particular motion that forces a commitment out of your defender. See here, it's not a particularly complicated move. It's a jab step to a speed boost launch, which is timed perfectly for when Paul George takes a step forward towards Austin Reeves, giving us a great angle towards the basket. Remember that your different jab steps and triple threat feints are great ways to keep your defender off balance. Take a look at this situation right here. Another jab step forces Paul George to step forward towards us, thinking that we're driving to our right. We launch the opposite direction to get to the basket easily. The goal is to get a commitment out of our defense to punish that movement with another counter move to get us to the basket. In this situation right here, after a jab launch, Klay Thompson is able to stay with us right there. We force a commitment and then we counter with a behind the back dribble into a launch, and then from there, knowing that Klay Thompson is picking us up towards our body, we counter with a Euro step move. So once again, take a look at how these different triple threat moves forces Klay Thompson to shift his his body around to try to contain us. As you can see here, after our initial step over, look at Clay, he will inch towards our left. And then the jab step to the right forces him to open up his stance. We launch the opposite direction, forcing Clay to pick us up, countering with a crossover, and from here you know you're going to get a bump, right? So you have to choose the right finishing animation to get that wide open layup and an easy 2 points. So once again, these jab steps, these step overs, and a lot of these counter moves are set up in such a way where we force Klay Thompson to move his body around, give us an opening which we will attack, force Klay to commit to guarding our right, countering with a move to our left that push one direction and then pull the other direction are the basic movements you want to use to punish your defender. And take a look at the selection of dribble moves in this combo from Steph right here. This nice combo move forces us to go from left to right and then towards the left again, getting us an angle towards the basket. D'Lo has to cut us off, opening himself up to an easy step back jumper, which is done by countering down and to the right. And I think to put it in the most simplest terms, you want to initiate combos with push motions. These are motions that will force a commitment going forward or going to the left or to the right, bringing your defender a certain direction. Then you want to counter with pull moves, which are moves that are opposite your push move. So in this case, if my push move was moving forward and to the right, my pull move is moving down and to the left. And I guarantee you, if it works offline against the Hall of Fame AI, you best believe it works against human opponents. So that's our first rule. Know what moves will get a commitment, moving your defender from one direction to another and then countering with an excellent counter move to take advantage of that commitment. That's what we do in this situation right here. A moving crossover by Zach LaVine forces Buddy Hield to cover hard right, and then we counter with a step back jumper moving down into the opposite direction. That leads us to my next tip. You need to know what your signature animations are in order to force that commitment. So for James Harden, for example, he has a good crossover combo move that forces our defender left to right or right to left, putting pressure at them towards the basket, and a great attack crossover moving towards the basket that combos really well with a step back jumper. These animation combos are great at keeping your defender off balance, forcing a commitment, and then you just need the right animations to counter that commitment. De'Aaron Fox is the same way. A simple combo move into attack crossover into a step back jumper is easy money. So in general, crossover moves, crossover combo moves, and moving crossovers are great moves to shift your defender from left to right. Whereas moving crossovers towards the basket, attack crossovers, some aggressive breakdown dribble moves are great moves that will give you push motions towards the basket. And once again, if you want more details on these moves, I have tutorials linked in the description. And overall, that's the goal. Put pressure on the defense, force a commitment, and that's exactly what I do here with my tween escape, forcing the defense to pick me up going to my left, a counter with a momentum crossover going to my right. Now he's in a completely bad defensive stance, sprinting towards the basket, and I counter with a nasty spin jumper. So tip number 1 was force a commitment. Tip number 2 is know which signature animations you need. And tip number 3 is always know the right finishing animation to get you an open shot. And that's exactly what I do here. The spin layup is the exact move I needed to finish wide open. Which leads me to my next point. You want to be able to tell when a good shot is a great shot. And in this situation, even though LaMelo Ball has length over my player right here, I know that once I initiated this spin gather and I created that distance, even though he had his hands up, I knew that that wasn't going to be a contested jumper. So knowing how the contest system works is going to be an important part of your formula in beating defenses, whether it's the Hall of Fame AI or user defenders in this situation once again. So once I recognize that it's hand down, man down, I am willingly taking that shot 100% of the time. Okay, so next in post-up situations, we're going to discuss how to beat the AI in these situations because honestly, it's a little bit more difficult. But the goal remains the same. Force a commitment with your push moves and then counter with your pull moves. That's exactly what we do here. After a post pivot, we counter with a shimmy fadeaway, forcing Bradley Beal to cover the middle, and then that adds some space into our fadeaway counter, giving us an easy bucket. This combo right here is an example of how you want want to take that mentality of forcing a commitment, countering that commitment, and then finishing appropriately. Once again, after this pivot move, take a look at Josh Okogie and how he tries to guard us by committing towards the middle, giving us an opening towards the baseline, right? So we initiate that spin pivot into that pump fake, forcing Josh Okogie to really try and guard the baseline. Once again, he then closes out towards the middle, which we counter with a spin towards the baseline, forcing him to try and pick us up, countering with another spin towards the middle, and then finishing with a nasty up and under finish. And if you're a bruising post player, your push move is an aggressive back down. In this situation right here, Nikola Jokic has the strength advantage over Bam. I just push towards the basket and then counter immediately with a hook shot. And because that bump or that push gave us all the space we needed, that green window was so wide. Even against monsters like Brook Lopez, as long as you're able to generate space, you will finish easily. So always keep that in mind. Force a commitment in certain situations, overpower based on the strengths of your player, and then counter that commitment with a nice counter move. So there you have it. Those are my guiding principles in learning how to become a better shot creator in order to beat the Hall of Fame AI. A lot of these sound simple in principle, but you're also going to need to learn how to do these moves in the game. And I have a separate playlist for those tutorials, which I will link in the description below. If I made this sound easy, that's because I put in a lot of work and practice into learning how to do these moves. So I encourage you to slowly try to incorporate this into your game to not only be good at the video game, but to become a better basketball player as well.